fictional story about
like kids going to space.
Yeah, kids going to space. And there's all kinds of books out there, right? Picture books or that kind of thing. That would be an entertainment piece. Think about all the movies out there, all right, that are meant to entertain us, but they're space themed. Gravity, yeah, that was a pretty good
What
one.
about Armageddon? Earth to Echo.
There you go, Earth to Echo. That was a recent one. I went and saw that movie, actually. What else did we come up with? What other examples did you have for space theme that wouldn't be to inform? It would be to entertain or persuade. Kaylee?
Like if there was a newspaper article talking about aliens or something, it could persuade us.
Oh, the aliens do exist. Very good. And sometimes those happen, especially they're called editorials, where people will write about why aliens exist. All right, so a persuasive speech on how alien life form would exist. That would be a persuasive one. What else? Gabriel?
It could be entertained, because you could just make up a story about kids going to space and stuff. With how they meet alien named Bobby.
All right, very good. So a story about kids going to space.
But I can see how it would be informed. Persuade too, because you'd be persuading him to let us go to the moon.
All right, there you go. So there's all kinds of, sometimes stories can have two different purposes, right? They can be persuading you and maybe entertaining you as well. Sometimes. All right, a couple more. Nick?
Like, if you give a massive cookie book, then you get alien gifts.
Oh, okay, so maybe we could write that sometime. If you give an alien something and do an entertainment piece like this.
If you give an alien a
All right, Mackenzie? Going to Jupiter, so that would be an entertaining piece or a persuading piece? Persuading, okay, so why did you go to Jupiter? To wrap it up, Mallory, what was your idea?
I just want to say that actually, she used her idea, and she added mine with kids going to space.
Oh, okay, another kids going to space, definitely. Alrighty, let's go ahead and skip to the next slide. I'm going to move on for right now.
Have you ever seen the movie Paul?
Alright, another skill that we use for the author's purpose. Oh, class.
Yes.
That's not me. Alright, another skill that we talked about was the big one was author's purpose. But we also had a lot of graphic sources that we looked at this week. What is a graphic source? What is a graphic source? So when I say it, we saw a lot of graphic sources this week in our readings. In Talk with an Astronaut, Astronauts and Cosmonauts, and all the readings that we did, there were lots of graphic sources. What do I mean when I say that? What's a graphic source? Katie, I don't have an answer.
Pictures to show what they're talking about.
Pictures, does it have to be a picture? It can be any type of what? Jason?
Form of teaching you something like that, you write a Venn diagram.
Okay, so Venn diagram would be an example of a graphic source. Anything that starts with a V. Mallory?
I can't remember.
That's okay. Jackson?
Visual.
Visual, yeah, exactly. Anything that has a visual is going to be a graphic source. So we brought up a couple examples just in the last few seconds. Pictures, Venn diagrams. What are some other examples? This is the first one. What are some examples of graphic sources that authors use to help the reader understand the story? What are some other types of graphic sources? Venn diagrams, pictures, those are definitely two big ones. Mackenzie?
What it's called.
That's okay. Kaylee?
I'm doing a play over a true life story.
Okay.
For next weekend.
All right.
So, because it's over like a restaurant.
Okay, so a graphic source is definitely, so play, you're right, a play is going to be a visual thing. Graphic sources are really talking about something that's included on the page though. So play wouldn't necessarily be a graphic source. What are some other things? Venn diagram, pictures.
Diagram.
Okay, any type of diagram, right? So if we had a space shuttle and it had a diagram pointing to the different parts of the space shuttle, that would be a graphic source that's helping us
We
out.
had one in the choice.
There was one.
Cosmonauts and astronauts.
And it kind of showed that when they were talking about their training.
The spaceship suits.
Definitely. Mallory?
Whenever I was in the I was going to say, there could be
So what were you gonna say?
Instead of like you said visual, like I was trying to say what it could be a graph that has sources.
Okay, that's true, definitely. So graphic source is, Eli, do you have one?
A diagram or making a visual diagram?
Diagram would be the visual source. I know that we talked with our superstition projects about different visuals that you had, but those are like live action visuals, like you're making something. When we're talking about a graphic source, we're talking specifically about